good morning. Remember, everything in this video is never financial investment or trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. I eat red crayons for breakfast. Trading the markets carries substantial risk. Never trade more than you can afford to lose, and especially be aware against high leverage trading. I take a long time today doing those cryptos. As I said in my email to all of you guys on Patreon, I was going to be doing a report. So I'll try to do a few of these cryptos. I think I have time. So I will make sure I do a few of these, and I'm going to get back to you guys on Monday with the rest of them. Let's do the first three, and then I will do the rest on Monday. We're going to do Luna Classic. Let's look at it. All right, so we're almost about to hit our DP projection. We're hitting it in a very weak way. So let me show you what I believe is the case. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so if this is our oscillation, let me make this a little bit so you guys can see that a little better. Okay, so from here to here is where the range of that is. Okay, when we had the breakout and price sitting on top of this area, okay, so let me see if I can just show it to you from a map perspective. Price is basically flowing here. When we broke out and sat down on top of that line, we should go up the distance of this oscillation. So we duplicate the distance of the oscillation, which is about here, and that tells us that we should be hitting this line approximately there. Okay, now we have that price, or we had that price, and it was 00012. Okay, so the oscillation breakout was saying primarily we should be bullish until we hit 00012. Here's where I placed it. Now if the breakout was then, that was going to be the price. However, this is dynamic, which means that the number is going to change based on the angle, not based on price alone. That's why we never trade based on price alone. We trade based on the angles. So each week or time, in this case it's a weekly chart, this is September 2024, every week that number is going to go down and down. So at that time it hit 114, or very close to 114. You can see we spiked all the way up here, didn't exactly make it all the way to the top, but very close. So was the DP hit? Technically, yes. There is a margin of error. Okay, there's always a little bit of margin of error. If the oscillation was measured just a little bit slightly more closer to maybe the meat of this candle here, or closer to the core, it's going to shrink the distance of that oscillation. Just to confirm that, I'm just going to redo the distance. Okay, so if I bring down the distance, it should be, it's actually a little bit more extended out. Let me make sure that's correct. Yeah. So maybe somewhere it's going to be hit still again. So just to redo that projection, it's approximately, as I just showed you, this distance from here to here. So the number is going to keep going down each week. And right now, since we're in the week of October 14th, we can just move this up, and I'm going to move this one more week over. So if I just go to the side to October 21st, I can calculate the target or potential profit target for Luna Classic, and right now it's 0001. Now are we going up? Yes, but again we're going up really slowly. So that's not a good sign for longer term sustained Luna Classic, unless we had another reason for Luna Classic to go up, maybe based on the entire market. But as it is, if I was going to take my profit, I would be moving my profit target down, because we're only going up so much right now at the moment. Okay. Now, if I combine that, and I'll just put this in the text so you guys have this. October 19th, 2024. Actually, I'll give you the week for next week, since that's the profit target. October 21st week B. Okay. So if you guys are having a target, you may want to lower your profit as that angle goes down. Eventually, that target is almost the same price. Okay. Do you see how we go on? If price break out up here, it would have hit a very high number. But as time goes on, that number goes lower and lower, because we're following that track of the DP. Does that make sense? Okay, so you can calculate whatever your target is that week. Now, I like it personally when the DPs are angled upwards, because then the profit rises each time. And that's the reason why the smart money plays the long game, because they can make more and more target if they let things go on longer many times. Okay, there's a window to that, of course. Just like there's a window to the DP, because the DP price can actually go all the way and phase past that. But primarily, while it's still in this range, it's going to hit that top. All right. So with that said, let's look at some other things about Luna Classic that may open our eyes. If we look at this from a volume perspective, Okay. Oh, one more thing from a chart perspective. It appears that this is a key angle here. If you guys don't have it, if you have one line, let it be this one. Okay. This angle is potentially very important. Okay. I'm going to make it big on my chart. Okay. It's made of two cores and then a wick back here. Core, wick. If I take this angle and I bring it all the way up to the top here, it's the same exact angle. It's now a phantom. Okay. I'm going to make that really big. And that phantom gives us two. If I place it here, it gives me this area as a verification. If I place it here, it gives me this area as a verification. Either way, it doesn't matter. They verify and testament to each other. It's telling me that a larger oscillation is therefore this. This is the oscillation. Now, the reason that's important is because we can use that to identify where the bottom is and where the top is. In our chart, I've already given that to you by denoting these lines with these colored dots in green and pink. Primarily, that's this right here. So if you're watching this as a video explanation, you know the major breakout for Luna Classic is above those prices. And this is also dynamic, which means those numbers come down. So if I bring those also to this week, the number is now 15.9 for a breakout. And it also tells us that the floor is coming down. If I put it for next week, it's 0.06. So the updated numbers for this area are those prices. So if you want the most current Luna Classic map for the next major change, those are the major prices you're looking for. Here and here. Okay, important. So take a screenshot if you want to in just a moment. Okay, important. It'd be nice if I put the little T. Okay, those are important. Got it? Take a screenshot now if you want. And now I'm going to do a volume. Okay? Now, if I look at the volume, and I'm going to read what Triple J said in just a bit, but let's look at the volume first. Did we see a major campaign on Binance, at least? Okay, on Binance. Meaning, as we were coming down, did we see a strong increase in the volume down bars? No, the only strong increase we had was this one right here. And even this bar was right from a back-to-back up bar and then followed by a down move. So this may have been just a supply check. It is not a strong active accumulation on Luna Classic. Now the crazy thing about this is, and where there's some exceptions, is that Luna Classic fell from grace and the data was changed. Luna Classic was trading at hundreds of dollars. I think it was at $180. And then it fell. In addition, to obscure that data, what they did is they split Luna into two parts, Luna Classic and Luna. I believe it is said and prophesied that Luna Classic is the one that will return to grace, I believe, and recover to some kind of high price. The other thing is that Luna turned out to be a failure from what I understand, and it's going to be merged back together with Luna Classic. These are some of the things I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true, but these are some of the things I've heard over the last year or so. So I'm not so convinced that there needs to be a major buying campaign. In fact, it seems like when the volume was the lowest is when we can see the average as we came to one of the lowest sections is when price actually did rise. The last time it came to a low point right here, back in December 2022, there was a small rise, and then our big rise with the breakout happened on no demand situation. Now, no demand is only important in context when there's already buying that happened. But if the major players are already in or were in, we don't necessarily need to see a major buying campaign. However, to have that breakout or bullishness. However, I sure would like it. When we did break out on that no demand situation, we did see on the up move strong ultra high volume increases on the up move. And therefore we can conclude, based on the data, weakness followed. At the very top, we had ultra high volumes, but then we had very small spreads with the closes near the origin on ultra high volume that tells us it's possibly selling. The confirmation was the down move. So there was some selling. So now we know the volume zone block was approximately from this quadrant in here in this area. So if we look at those two bars, that's the area where we're going to be looking for selling from our volume zone block, lesson number 16. This is a tool to help you know where to look. So if I know to look in this area for other selling in context, I'm going to stretch that out. Did I see other selling in that context? Yes. Another high, ultra high volume bar here on February 24th and March 24th coming in the same area. In fact, right at this, almost at the same flat, with other ultra high volume bars. Ultra high volume bars, Mr. Long type bars, Mr. Hammer bars, closes near the origin, just like we did at the top. Some people call that shooting star pattern, followed by a down bar, followed by weakness. Weakness. See? Here's the other one. We could calculate, this one was parabolic, weakness. What we can read in hindsight is active selling, which means the last thing the professionals are doing is distributing. Okay? Let's just add that to a report. We can see an active distribution happening. We didn't necessarily need to observe a buying campaign because Luna fell from grace $180. And if you guys don't believe me or remember, look it up. You guys will be very shocked. Some people who are new to wealth transfer communities, you don't even know that Luna was trading at $180. If you just returned to some of that, you'd be a millionaire. And it was split in two, and the data is obscure now. This hides the reality that strong holders are already in, or smart money. This explains why price rose on no demand in the data, in the volume data. Okay? All right. Therefore, the last major movement until the beginning of 2024 was selling. Okay? That's what the last major thing was happening by the professional money. And remember, that's why I told everybody, get out of Luna Classic at that time. Okay? We called those tops based on weaknesses. Now we're calling them based on the data. All right, so we have one last down movement. And in this down movement, what do we want to see? We want to see the professionals entering on the down bars, primarily the down moves. And if we see that, we can say, oh, maybe they're engaged in a longer term campaign. Now, from a structural perspective, they're sitting right on a parabolic. So they're supposed to be sitting on this area. That's great. And then if there's health, we're going to be knowing we're going to be going up. But if there's no active campaign happening for the buying, then our move up could be weak or temporary, or that means that they want lower prices until there is an accumulation that is happening. On this data for Luna Classic, we did come down. Were they entering? The answer is no. They were not entering. Primarily, they weren't entering. There's a long up bar here. Let's look where it's at. This up bar is on a large down bar, followed by an up move, and then another up bar here. It could be the area where there is some type of volume coming in. Now, generally, we want to see that happening over time. We want to see it happening nice and smooth, so we know it's sustained. But it could be the start of stopping volume. It could be this type, and stopping volume is where there is support happening, so there's going to be a flood of supply, and that can help prices reverse. Now, generally, I want to see that kind of ultra high volume on those two bars from July 2024 and July 29th of 2024. So July 1st and July 29th a week. Unfortunately, I don't see that the case. Okay? So this is in the wrong area. Therefore, I'm not going to assume it's heavy buying. See, these bars are great. They have closes near the middle, but look at the volume, very low. So this tells me that it's either a no demand situation like it was before in the same area where there was no demand, but even then it's on higher volume. But most likely it's going to be either stopping volume, structure's looking great, but not longer term sustained Luna Classic. So it doesn't catch my interest. Let me show you one other thing. Is there another reason why we may have major stopping volume here? Yes. Number one, we came all the way back down here about April 2024. And what area was this? It was sword cut. Now, praise God, we all have sword cut. If this was the parabolic here, our breakout was here, right there. So that's where we draw the flat sword cut from sword method that I gave to you guys. Praise the Lord, He revealed that nature of sword cut to us. We know where to look primarily for support. It is here at that price, which was 00073. Now we came back there, 0073, 0073. If a reversal is going to happen, it could happen here. But again, we see a very weak buying campaign. if there's any campaign going on at all. And that only one down bar, and it's very long, so it would assume that long down bar would have lots of volume anyway. Now, it's not super ultra high compared to some of these other averages. Those are ultra high bars. So is there a heavy buying just yet? No. Is it possible, therefore, that we're going to come back down to these prices? Possibly. And where is those prices at? Again, along this track, that key angle. Do I have any questions? Okay. I would probably be looking, therefore, when weakness would ensue, and I'll give you that weakness. Okay. I'm going to put this here in my report. Therefore, I would conclude we will probably see lower LUNC prices in the future, possibly back toward the yellow line around 0.00051 minus. Okay, that means going down lower, that number, we're going to rose it down. Okay, I would like to see a buying campaign. The large volume bar, the only large volume bar, may have simply been stopping volume in the area where it should be, the shortcut, at around 0007. So that explains why there would be that volume, that support right there, because that's exactly where the support should happen. Any questions, my friends? Okay, I'm going to read what Triple J said in just a moment. October, but this is what I believe I can see in the volume, in the data. Okay, if the professionals are only selling, hey, they're only selling. Okay. Triple J last said, I hear ABBA LUNC Classic is not going anywhere as many expected at this moment. Move here and there, up and down. Bob ABBA says, chaos going on inside job. And then she said, I heard the Lord say to me, and I'm going to put this in there. I heard the Lord say to me, set LUNC Classic 17. LUNC Classic 0s and 17. I don't know if it's spot or LUNC Cup. As I was looking at the chart on KuCoin, pray about all things. Thank you, Triple J. I really appreciate you sharing, using your gift. I heard to say to me, the Lord will, LUNC Classic will do nada for now, meaning nothing to sing about. Now, somebody emailed me yesterday, last night, regarding LUNC Classic. So this will be your video response. I want you to know. You may want to take these things into consideration. If you're going to take profit, we may hit again here at the 00010 or anything close, or even just now. I only have one other thing I'm going to share with you. For short-term LUNC Classic traders, this is going to be for you, this last part. Real quick, it is this. If you go down to a daily chart, you can clearly see a flow of price, and I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to hide all of these lines, okay? And what you're going to do is, this is a parabolic. You're going to take this core, you're going to take that core, you're going to take this course here, or approximately this area, and what we're going to be doing is looking for structure below this area, and then you can calculate, therefore, the price 008. Okay, you guys want to know how this works? Draw this structure here. 0000. It's between 87 and 83, so it's closer to 86. 86. Okay, let's make that good and white. Good. Got it? So you day trader, you may want to be looking for structure below here. That means you're going down. Okay? That's what you're going down. For people who are breakout trading, you may want to be looking for strong structure to be above there. But you can see that we already broke out once, but we did not build on top of this line. So we didn't build yet. So I want to see primarily structure up, but be careful. Okay, that number is going to be around 9.4. Around 9.4, and I'm going to put that for you in little white, 0.000094. Okay, so LUNC Classic, October 19th. Does that help you guys? Remember, if you learn this on just one crypto, even if you're not trading or interested in it, you're gaining skills. You can use that for future cryptos. Okay, all right. Two more cryptos. Not. I've looked at not before. Let's see what's not doing right now. If I was an animal, which animal would I be?
I don't know.
Anyone want to guess? You want to guess? Come on, guess. If I was an animal, which animal would I be? You know the answer, my son?
I don't know.
Triple J says a Cornish hen. No, the answer is bonus points if anybody gets it. A bear. Somebody says a bear. I got a bear claw here. What my son just gave me. Cornish hen. Nope. Nope. The answer is not. I'll give you 3 guesses, 5 guesses.
Grizzly bear?
A grizzly bear? No, I wouldn't be. Why? Why would I be a character? Why would I be a character? There's a Disney movie that has this animal that someone's turned into. I won't say what movie it is. But yes. Okay, just.
Oh, a frog, definitely a frog.
Okay, someone says a frog. Someone says a bear. Someone says a Cornish. Why would a frog? Why a frog? Why would I be a frog?
Because you blossomed after Melody kissed you.
Well, you pray to a prince, don't you?
No, not a frog. Anyone else?
Squirrel.
A squirrel?
Skunk.
Wait, a squirrel or a skunk? Which is it?
Oh, it's different. Are they different?
Yeah, a squirrel and a skunk are very different. The skunk
Okay.
smells, remember?
I don't know.
Is it because I forgot deodorant yesterday? You weren't supposed to say anything about that. Now look, they're
Is
all...
it from the movie Beauty and the Beast?
No. He's just a beast. A horse? Triple's just a horse. Oh gosh, of course. No. Alright, I'm gonna give you the answer. The answer is... a squirrel. It is a squirrel. Yeah. You know why I would be a squirrel? Because I'm always chasing after acorn.
That was funny. No, I said that's what.
That's your daily dose of corn.
I think there were 2 different parabolics here.
I think... oh, maybe you're right.
I
Oh.
feel like you've done this one.
Okay. I probably did. But I'm not seeing it here. All right, let's take these tops real quick. I'm probably just going to look at this from a volume perspective. What I'm looking for, is there an active... we're in an active downtrend. Is there an active accumulation campaign? Meaning, when we're going down, especially as we're nearing the bottoms, is there accumulation that's happening in these? So we have this data to work with, so we have a more accurate top, which is great. When we have multiple points, it's fantastic because it gives us an easy way where we can observe where the health needs to come in. The answer is above these prices here. Okay? You need to be here before we can think about going out. This is testified by these structures here. If I connect this top here to here, I have multiple points of verification. So if I started here at the core and I have another core, this is my source point, this is my secondary point, and I have a verification here and here. If I duplicate this out and I bring it straight down according to the rules of the parabolic sword method, in sword method, I'm going to bring it to this area right here, both at core and wick. See the wick, the long wick? Okay, so I'm going to bring it to those 2 places, and I'm going to be looking for verification. I don't want to move it to the left and right. I'll throw off the curvature, and it's slightly curved. So I'm going to bring it straight down as best I can. There we go. Okay, now when I place it at core, I'm getting pretty close, but I'm missing some other things. Okay, but I'm getting pretty close to the general area. When that happens, I want to verify if I really should be putting here. I can go about that with core cluster as taught in method 6.0. Just type lessons in the lessons page. Or I can just go to maybe a weekly chart. Now, what I suspect is going to happen is as I go to a weekly chart, that close ain't going to be there. It's going to be much higher, and therefore my curvature needs to be raised, and I'm going to be able to collect it here. How much you want to bet? The actual curvature is going to be approximately around 0.11. Who wants to bet me? 1 donut. Let's go to, that's what I bet for. All right, so I go to weekly chart, and oop, I lost the bet. You would have got a donut. The actual curvature is even worse. It's actually higher, closer to here. That puts us a few candles back. On a 2-day chart, let's say, the curvature is higher. The curvature really is here on a 2-day chart, which is a double of the daily chart. So we're going to say in about an average, that's where we should be. So I went from a daily, the 2-day chart, the curvature is there. And just to confirm again, just to show you with the difference, this, and I'll type it in, 2-day chart, and I'll duplicate this one, and I'll put it here at the daily chart. So that's a 2-day, and this is a 1-day. The 2-day is stronger than the 1-day. Okay? So close here, when we double those, is telling us the meat is here. The weekly chart is telling us it's closer to here.
You changed mine.
So here's the 2-day chart. There it is again. So you can see that's just a fluke. The real meat should be along this track. Okay? So what that does is it strengthens the resolve of this line. It tells me that this curvature is correct and it's powerful. I can use this data. If I'm looking for a place to short it, I want to short it along the top in a downtrend. If I'm hunting the up move, I want to have some up moves to hunt. I want to short it here and then take my profit down here and make the money between here and here. If I get a breakout, I'll know it's more powerful because I have evidence. So I now know the boundaries. I know now where my floor is and where my top is. If I'm getting structure, so if I'm in a short position underneath here, I want to short it all the way until here. If I'm going to buy it, which I don't generally want to buy in a downtrend, unless I have an active reason, but if I was buying, I want to buy at those prices at least, which are 0.05. So I don't want to pay anything higher than 0.05 along that track unless I'm at a double bottom or have a reason to buy. Okay, and when I'm at that bottom, I don't want to just buy because of double bottoms and double tops. Multi-touch flats is where I classify those at. I want to have a reason. Okay, so as it is, I will draw a smaller parabolic, but I'll draw that on a smaller time frame. So for not, these are the areas I want to make a decision at. 0.05 and 0.08. And we're almost there right now, so I want to confirm what else is happening. Okay, but so far, that's what we have for a map. Now that's not so bad, right? That's pretty good. Wow, Jason, that's pretty good. Yes, I know. I'm here on Thursdays. Actually, I'm not. Okay. The next thing, I'm going to go back down that daily chart, and I'm going to look at some volume. Okay. So let's look at the volume and observe what was the last things that was happening. Okay. The first one is that we have large up move, and the volume was ultra high. Where was that volume at? Ultra high at? On the up bar at the very top, followed this one right here on June of 2024, followed by smaller spreads, closes near the middle, and a down move. That's possibly selling going on. Then, it's not much, but it's some selling going on. Then we come back up in here. Now, it doesn't appear that this is a part of a large campaign, but if anything, we can see stronger increases on the up move followed by weaknesses and down moves. So if anything, maybe there's some selling going on. That's fine. Okay, but as we come down, is there buying coming on? I don't really see a strong increase in volume on this down move. I do see some ultra high volumes up here, but followed by moves that go to the side. I'm not so interested in that. Now we have another large down move here from July of 2021 to August of 2024. I'm sorry, July 19th of 24 to August 5th. What do we see? Do we see a strong increase in volume? No, we do not. They're not interested in that. Very strong decrease in volume. Okay? When we went up here, however, when we got to the bottom, I should say this. When we got to the bottom, we did see an ultra high volume. Here's the average. Ultra high volume on the down bar, followed by an up move and an up bar and an up move. Now this could be the start of something happening here in this area. It's very interesting. It didn't happen on the down move itself. We didn't see a strong increase, but we did see it near the bottom. So what could that be? It could be that someone knew where the top was. I'm sorry, somebody knew where this top was here, and therefore they put it here and knew this was the bottom. So if they were going to buy, they were going to buy here. However, it's a very weak move followed by weakness ensuing. So this is going to say, I'm going to say this is not an active buying move. It's just buying at a bottom. It's not an active accumulation campaign, which means they don't plan for this to have super long prices as of yet. Super long, very high prices as of yet. Next, if there was more buying, it has to happen closer to that run. And here's where things start possibly changing. In that volume zone block, which I'm not going to draw, but you guys can, it's where we start looking, from the wick down. In that volume zone block is where we start looking for other buying happening if there really is buying. And this is where things change a little bit. In the relative area, on this down move, we do now see an increase in volume. Look at that, with ultra high volume here. Right there, do you guys see it? 3 bars of up volume here, followed by 3 down bars. If professional buy-ins come in, it's going to happen on the down bars, in the down moves, preferably in the volume zone blocks, as taught in lesson 16. I just filmed it Wednesday. Watch it. It's in-depth tutorial how to do it. So I'm looking for buying. It needs to be in this zone, and I start to see some. Now that's very good. That's a very good sign that accumulation is starting to happen. But it could also be accumulation based on the down move. Okay, it's definitely a great spot to start looking for possible accumulation. Now there's something else. As we move this to the side, in that same zone, I see something different, and this is why I'm gonna make a prediction in just a moment. We come up to the same zone block, but now I see ultra high, very long bar, Mr. Long, followed by immediate down bars and down move. And this long bar had to close closer to the middle after hitting the top on ultra high volume. Now this could be just profit taking, but because I see a strong increase in volume on that up move followed by the down move, it tells me it's probably more than that. Now normally, we already did the homework, we'd want to see buying in that zone, but we actually see profit taking. If it really is accumulation campaign happening in this zone from here to here, and I guess I will draw it just to simplify things. Okay, there it is. There's the zone. If this is the volume zone block, I would look to see buying here, but we don't see it here. We actually see active taking profit. There's only one of 2 scenarios that can happen that I would believe. Either there's an active flat somewhere here and price just isn't ready, and it would look like this. Oops. It would look like this, an active flat, which may make sense. Or, okay, and that means they're buying, but they're like, we're going to get out. And that's where they're going to take profit, or there's going to be a supply, because we're now underneath these lows for the most part. That could be the case. But what I'm going to suggest to you is that it's actually the buying that happens on this track. So something that I haven't got a chance to teach too much yet is that we look at volume in terms of flat, but volume can also be read along the track. And I did put this in my slides in lesson 16, and actually type it. It's in the first pages. It says along the track. The reason I use the track is because that track could be a downward angle, it could be an upward angle, and sometimes we can read volume as it's hitting this. Okay, so a clue that this might be the case would be this last and third area as we hit the track. So just stare with me just a few more moments. Let me explain. We read the volume here, and it didn't read from left to right. However, we read the volume along that track, and it did read correctly. So how is it going to read now as we hit here or here? Let's read it. So as we come to this third area, are we seeing an increase in volume in this third area? Yes or no? We already explained this one here along that down par, and that's below this. So that's a hint that it's along this track. The other is when we come here to this area. And what is the volume like as we hit that area? It appears a no demand situation. It could be that we accumulated and then we're hitting a no demand situation. It's possible that that would be the case. If it's true and it is a no demand, that means the supply was absorbed, price is free to rise, and we immediately see price do rise. So it could be, therefore, that this was an absorption of price and they had already absorbed it, and the absorption was actually along the track rather than just here. Which means the next place I'll be looking at it primarily to buy is not going to be at a flat, but rather along the track. Okay, and we're going to see it either very little volume, and that means we're going to be able to buy it, or we're going to see it at this flat with even more no demand situation. But I doubt that's going to be the case. Okay, so primarily I'm going to be looking at it here, exactly where I showed you along the track. Okay, if it's bullish, with that said, if it's bullish, I'm going to be looking for a breakout and a volume push. I want to see a strong increase in volume, and then I want to see the volume decrease after the rest, after the pullback. So I don't really see, if there's an active buying campaign, it's along the yellow track. Now I'm going to put this in my report right now. Do I have any questions while I'm writing this? think of your question that you want to ask. October 19th, 2024. For not reading the VSA and map together, I can see it is possible there is some accumulation happening on the yellow line. This is evident by the fact that when we came underneath the blue flat, there was strong selling, or there was some selling. There was some selling. Normally, there would be more accumulation. Okay, so we have to read, because there wasn't that accumulation on this third point here, okay, that means that there was selling. Sorry, because there wasn't more accumulation here, it's possible that the buying is not on a flat, but rather track. Okay? Other evidence suggests the buying happened below the volume block, okay, shown in pink. Okay. Now the way that would be the case is if there was a strong push for lower prices, we would see from point 1 to point 2 an increase in volume. I just need to confirm that. 1, 2, and no, there's a decrease in volume between, sorry, this point right here, there's a decrease in volume. So when we finally get to this third point over here, we're already below the volume block primarily, and that's where we get an increase in volume. So I'm going to say that's just more evidence that we're going to hit. This all suggests that if prices fall, we will not fall to a flat, but or double bottom, but rather the lower 0.0054 area. We would ideally look for another no demand situation or another accumulation in the volume increase in parentheses. Okay, so that's going to suggest to me either we're going to have another no demand at 54 or an increase in volume for another accumulation. But right now the last thing that happened was accumulation and then a no demand, price rise, some selling happened, and then we came back down and price rose on basically very little nothing. Okay, the last bar that we're going to look at is this up bar as we hit the top in yellow, okay, up here or close to this area. What does the volume look like? Ultra high volume, up bar closed near the middle, followed by a down bar and a down move. So therefore I'm not going to be so bullish for a breakout right now, and I need to point that out as well. In addition, in addition, I can see it appears selling is happening closer to the upper yellow band. This is upper parabolic. This is possible profit taking in the area where it should. I would therefore be looking for more weakness and a proper buying campaign. For now, I am not expecting a breakout. If it does, it may be based on the overall market, okay? And the reason I'm saying that, if the markets are doing really good and you see a real high price, but without a buying campaign coming in this area, it might be temporary. Otherwise, I would really want to see a stronger no demand maybe here as we got that other pullback, and I don't really have that other no demand situation along this flat. So I'm going to be looking primarily again towards these areas. I'll give you all of those prices. And any other questions? Did I miss any question? No? Okay. All right, that's that one. I'll make sure that I give you guys all those prices. I'm going to be bearish this one. Okay, still in the downtrend, not so hard to trade. Okay, hunt that up move, wait for your weakness, short it. Not bullish just yet. Last crypto for today, FBUSD. Fractal Bitcoin. What is this? 0.008 cents. Maybe Gate.io. $6. Yeah. Sorry, 6.19, 6.18. Bybit, 6.6. Okay, let's look on Gate.io. Okay, let's look on Bit. Oh, I got a lot of data here on Bybit. Very messy. And let's look at CoinEx, September 2024. Wait, one shows only 66 cents. CoinEx shows the $6.19. Does anybody know if I should be looking at the 6 cents one or the 6.19 one? The majority or the 6.19?
I think it's 6, and Gate.io has the highest volume.
Okay, so we'll look at
619
the
on
6.19.
the CoinEx.
Okay. All right. If you want me to look at CoinEx, we'll use that one. Okay. A little bit more data. I'm going to go to a 12-hour to stretch out my data a little bit. Okay. This one's going to be fairly easy to draw the parabolic. It's just here. Okay. I may have a different oscillation on the bottom, but we'll find out. I'm going to move it straight down. Okay. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be about where we need to draw it. Okay, that's going to be interesting because that's going to give me a bottom, a maximum bottom closer to $3.87. Breakout is actually coming up really soon. So I want to see what's going to happen as we're squeezing into these areas. Okay, so strong downtrend. Peak structures close to about right here. It might be a flat. Let me just do maps quickly for active flats. Let me look on that daily chart one more time. Yep, I have active flats, and that's interesting. When I have active flats, I know where to look next. Okay. This is telling me that my next active flat is actually here. Okay. So our next breakdown price is actually going to be closer to $5.85. Okay. So that's something we need to be aware of. Praise God for that, for fractal Bitcoin. Okay, let's go back down to that 12-hour chart and let's read some energy in the volume, see what we got here. It's possible there's some selling going on. Let's look at these areas in isolation. Okay, we had an up move here. What was the volume doing on that up move? The volume spikes were on to the top side. Interesting. Okay, there's some selling going on. It's subtle, but there's some selling going on the up moves, followed by a down move, followed by weakness. So if anything, they were dumping it here. The question is, when are they getting in? The next one was an up bar, followed by closes near the middle, followed by down bars. More up bars with closes near the middle, closer to the origin. This all on just average volume. And then we come back up again with more closes on the middle. So in these two areas primarily, I'm going to be looking for higher volume. Did we see it in the volume around those days? October 24th to, October 2nd, October 6th. It's possible the move is here and those bars are here and here. So that could be more evidence that they're dumping again, followed by a breakdown in price. Now, if there's going to be any more dumping, if it's on purpose, it can happen on one or two ways. Either no demand, there's just no interest to the upside, or we're going to see an active more distribution. The areas where we're looking at it is this move here. So the candles are all closing near the middle, up bars followed by weaknesses. The candles here closing near the origin. All the spikes are just on top. Did you guys notice that? Okay, just like these ones, the spikes are all the ones that are on top. It's a clue that the pressure, if any pressure is coming in, it's pressure to short it or pressure to dump it. As we look on this area, I want to see ultra high volume on the up bars in that area. If anything, this is a weak campaign, so it's just going to be higher volume. If I look at the overall flow, this is subtle again, it's very subtle. The flow is here, but the higher volume is on those up bars. So not exactly what we want to see, but very telling. Okay, very telling, just like the previous. Selling's happening, followed by structural weakness. Okay. And by structural weakness, if we drew the actual weakness, prices going under here. So if I was intraday trading this, I could trade this maybe on a 4-hour or even a 1-hour chart, and there would be an up move here. Okay, here's the approximate up move. If you guys were intraday trading, this is something you could look at or use. Okay, the structures from these three areas here in this up move are telling us support, and we level off about right there, so we find more support, which is exactly right, and weakness ensues here, followed by the down move. Okay, so that's telling us weakness. If we were drawing that in real time, that would be a red dot. or one of the red circles so we know where to look at. That's just a little freebie for you guys. So you remember how it works in real life. If you guys are doing this in real life, you would think to be getting rid of it here. The problem with that is it's still weakness, even now, okay? When weakness ensued, we came back up, but now we're hitting a major weakness, the major parabolic, okay? This is not good. Now, what do I not want to see if I was bullish? I don't want to see rejection here at this yellow line, which we have. I don't want to see ultra high volume up bars and up moves with all the spikes especially being on the top side. What do we see? And you guys tell me, therefore, we see spikes on that side. It's nice, you could make an argument there's spikes on the lower side. But if I look at this pair of candles, it's a back-to-back pair following a candle that was having closes near the middle, followed by another back-to-back pair with closes near the middle. So in the up move, what's the volume looking like? We have two up moves. We have this up move here in this volume, this up move here, actually two parts. One here on October 18th and another on October 18th, 8 p.m. and 4 p.m. So let's look at those. I think I have very little volume on the second round. I'm gonna double check. Oop, I guess not. Yep, very little volume. The ultra high volume is telling me it's on the, oh, it's on the down bar. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, that's gonna tell me that's based on this support. Okay, that would explain that one. That would explain that one. And the last one to explain is this one. Ultra high volume, it's on the up move. Okay, so these ones I'm going to explain by using the flat. So I'm not going to be so concerned with the ultra high volume at 8 a.m. I'm not going to be so concerned with the ultra high volume on this bar unless I actually, on this down move. That would make some sense if there was some buying or profit taking from the short, followed by an up move, but the up move in context is still in weakness. And when we get to the top, no one's interested in it. So when we come back up to this top right here, exactly 12 p.m., there's no more interest. Look at the volume on that up bar right there. I'm moving it straight down so you guys can see it. Okay, so as we come back to the top, there's no interest. Now, one bar alone is not enough, but as it comes down, the structure is still underneath this area, and it's painting a picture of everything we need to know. I'm going to look at here and here. In either case, am I seeing ultra high volume only in the middle on that one here at the top, and then I'm seeing a no demand situation, just no interest. So no interest here. The one selling is right there at the top. So that tells me almost everything I need to know. I'm going down. Okay. If there was going to be any volume push, it needed to be right when we're here at the top. In fact, we're not getting it, which means we're either going to come down, they're going to reset, otherwise I'm going to be out. Let's get out of this one. Take some profit on it. I'm going to say no. Everything in this video is never financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. Everything's just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. I ate red crayons for breakfast. Trading in the markets carries substantial risk. Never trade more than you can afford to lose, especially be aware against high leverage trading. If you're going to short this, don't short it until you get to about right here, just for safety reasons. If you're going to buy this, please wait until at least you're above 6.4 and have other reasons to buy it. From a volume perspective, weakness, selling, no demand. The only thing left to do is hunt this up move. This one's going to be a little bit weird. I don't want to draw it here. That could mean the weakness is already in, but if we're waiting to be absolutely sure, wait till just a little bit further. Okay, something like that. Any questions? FB. This one is not probably going to do well soon. No big interest on it. And that concludes all of my charts for today. I'll be back on Monday with those requests that you guys had. I'll be doing these cryptos here. Let me show you so you guys have them. I'll be doing VLX, Wojak, Shiba. But first, before those, DAG, SAM, One for Harmony One, Ethereum. My USDT.D maps are going to be good for the next few months or the next month or so, and then we'll be back to update those maps. I won't take any more cryptos. Do we have any other questions about these?
Can you just bring up the DAG chart so I could take a screenshot and I could just look at the map and finish it off myself?
I've done one before, so yeah. Dag nabbit. It's my DAG. Okay, I got one on KuCoin, it looks like. Let me get it for you. I'm going to give you a weekly view. It looks like that's probably what I was using last time. Looks like a breakout right now.
Yeah, that's what I was finding.
Take a look at your volume, and then do a reading on there, and see what you probably want to double check your flats on this one. It doesn't look like I may have done a flats analysis on it, so you may want to do a flats analysis on it. But this is currently what I have, and these are some of the maximum numbers for a breakout right now, closer to that.
Thank you.
Did you do a giga? No. Did you want me to add that to my list? I can. I didn't write it down. Giga? Yeah. Okay. Please pray for me. I believe the Lord gave me a dream last night, cryptocurrency. I need to pray about the matters regarding something he showed me in a dream that had very much strong meaning for something I was there's something new and up and coming when it comes to the cryptocurrency world that I believe is going to dethrone Bitcoin, and I believe it's related to XRP, but I need to pray about the dream. Also keep me in your prayers. There's some big changes going on in all the things that we're doing. There's a lot of growth happening in many areas of our lives and where we're going next. And the higher we go, I hope you guys stick around for the ride, because I want to take many of you with me. I can't wait to meet again many of you in the United States. Perhaps at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, I'll do a tour in America, and we hope to meet many of you in person, discuss in person some of those new and upcoming changes for our community, for WordRoom, and for all the powerful thing that we're doing in the future. We are also going to be having a corporate fast at the beginning of the month of November. So on November 1st, I'm going to be having a corporate fast. If you guys want to fast with me, I'll be discussing in the future meeting some of the things we're going to be fasting about. But I believe the fast is going to be about 3 days for many of you guys. If you want to fast more, go ahead and fast more. I'll be fasting more during those days. But if you want to fast at least one a day or any of those days with me and labor with me in prayer, then do so. We're going to be creating a collective prayer list. So get ready, prepare your hearts to fast. We're going to call upon the Lord and spend some good time with him. So if you guys want to fast with me during those days, I would love it. And so we'll do that. Study group says, I hope it's me. Yeah, if you we'll meet your study group. I can't wait to meet a lot of you guys again. We met everybody. We met at Christina's house last year, I believe it was. And then some of us met at the Crypto Christian Conference, which I got the honor of speaking. I got to speak twice. And then I gave a few prophetic words that the Lord was speaking to me as well. And then I got to minister to a few people, pray for them, impart the Holy Spirit to many of you guys. And I got to make some good connections. I plan, and this is just a little private, I plan to host our own conference. It's not going to be primarily about cryptocurrency, but that may be something that is part of that. There's going to be other things that we're going to be doing. Primarily in our future, we want to create cities of refuge, places for people during the end times or during our current generation or during the rough times. Whether it's for us or for our children, I feel a strong call from the Lord for many years to create places where there's safety. The Lord has given us the means or lined up things. The only things we're really missing is the funding. And even then, the Lord is opening doors. And he often reminds me that wealth will be unlimited for many of us. So I hope that one day he does come through with all those that wealth and the funds. And I can see it happening in a lot of different ways. So just keep in prayer. And I would love to make many of you part of some of those projects in the future. So we'll definitely have to meet together at the headquarters, wherever that may be. So you pray about all of these things in our community. With that said, if any of you need to contact me, shoot me an email, j.song7784@icloud.com. j.song84@icloud.com. Put your request in the chart on Patreon. Otherwise, just shoot it to my email. But it's easier on Patreon because we can confirm if you guys are dive tier. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the charts because you guys are the ones that paid for them. You guys pay for or you support me for my time when it comes to charts. When it comes to the Lord, you don't have to be any member of us. Just give me a call or make an appointment with me. Hey, can we talk soon? And we'll talk. Okay? And then we'll be back tomorrow for WordRoom. I really hope to be able to get the music going again soon so we can worship some songs. Otherwise, I'll give you a special sermon tomorrow. I love you guys. I'll be right back for a little fellowship.